And hi everyone again. My name is Matteo Dalle Fratte. I'm the Italian language coach for this beautiful stay-at-home choir project Rimanti in Pace by Claudio Monteverdi together with I Fagiolini. And this is the second part to look at the end of the piece. The first video has already introduced most of what I do in my method, the Melophonetica method, which is 10 years research into sung Italian. So please, even if you're not singing the first part, you can have a look just to understand what is the concept behind this research and how Italian is based on this beautiful sequence of long and short consonant, as you will see anyway on this second part. But let's go straight into the beginning of the first terzina and see what we do here with diction. So first of all, on dei di morte, we start with the very strong words. And the consonant here really help us to understand these words and also to get the sound that Monteverdi is trying to deliver through these long notes. You see, it starts really spread. This text is not like normal speech with a faster note. It's really spread, which means that he wants to magnify these words. So to magnify them, we need to show those long consonants clearly, as I'm going to show you now. We start with a double D on day. So that is an N, very short N. Remember, as I said in the previous video, behind the teeth, prepared to co-articulate, to prepare the D, which you remember D and T, both in Italian are dento, behind the teeth. So, on day, we have a group of vowels here, E and I. We give priority to the E, not to the I. So that means that the I can be just very at the end, and musically you can decide together where to place it if you need, but it can just be the last 30 seconds, 1/30 seconds note of that long note. So, and what is important is that after that I, we need to double the D in the preposition di, which is of, and that is preparing the word morte, death. This is a strong word. We don't need to double the M on this morte to emphasize this, because by emphasizing the upbeat, the preposition di, we actually give a beautiful, elegant way to prepare these words. It's less dramatic, but it has more impact. And that, as you must have seen in the previous video, how many times an upbeat is more important than a downbeat, you will see that this is the same thing. It creates much more an idiomatic sound of the language. So what I need you here is to double the D and stop, which means doubling the D on day, then doubling the D again on the D of, keeping the M short in morte, which means that M shouldn't start on the previous note, should be just a flick, very short, straight on that note on the beat. And then we finish with a double T morte. So these three stops, which are basically all dental behind the teeth, is the alliteration behind this very beginning with strong words. On te di morte. Very important impact here, and in particular that D on the upbeat. And then you carry on. The next part is La, which start with a single L. La sua faccia impressa disse. Again, quite a few beautiful long consonants here. As I said, it's a very stretched, magnified text here. Let me show you what I've just done, and then you can practice together. I'm doubling the S in sua, with a very early S, and in this case, a group of vowels, U and A, the priority goes to the U. So longer U, A is just at the end, very short. Then I keep the F short in faccia, so I don't accent it, I don't accent at all faccia. But then I have faccia itself as a double C written, that is a stop. Faccia, faccia. And that's where the staccato comes back on an upbeat again, you see. And then impresso is an MP, and that is a double P for you. So that's staccato, faccia impre. And then double S, so the end of this line has back energy as the beginning. So just to repeat, it's important for you to have this long consonant correctly, mostly because the alignment of, if you see all you're singing in different times, will align the double T morte, for example, with your double D on day. And that's all that create that counterpoint. Sometimes is aligned, sometimes it's not, but that counterpoint is what Monteverdi is trying to do. It's trying to create the text by the sound of the text. It's creating counterpoint rhythm that shake the emotion of what is happening on the text. So I do one line and then you can repeat on your rhythm, but you will see how beautifully it will click together when you sing the madrigal. So to repeat, on te di morte la sua faccia impressa disse. Actually, I'm not breathing now. You have obviously some breathing between as you need. Don't worry about that. I forgot to say double D in disse and double S obviously as written. In particular, double D in disse here, which is again alliterated with the on te di morte. So all those D's, long stop D's comes back. But in disse in particular, look how Monteverdi align everyone. All voices finally get together and say disse. And said. That is like say to the audience, listen carefully what is being said. Because that is a moment to say what comes next is something very emotional. It's a moment to stop the audience and say something important is coming. That's why the double D together in disse is very important, as together as the other. So remember, at the end, impressa disse. We need that. So if you breathe before disse, it's fine. We will see on the live coaching session what also musically is decided here. But if you don't breathe, you link sad disse. After sad, you position the D. If you breathe, you still need to get the time to breathe in and prepare. I energize disse. But we will see maybe together, as I said, on the live session. So let's have a go. And to the whole line again, so you can listen. I want just to point out another thing, which is faccia impressa. I didn't show you there. There is an I and an A. Faccia, that I is mute. It's not pronounced. So the sound is chump, chump, chump. Straight, stop the C, straight on the A vowel, and then double P straight on. Listen again. On te di morte la sua faccia impressa disse. And that is where we prepare what comes next, with then the Fagiolini takes over and sing the next part of these terzine. But then we will come back again with some very important words again, very words with a lot of alliteration and meaning in the phonetics that is linked to the semantics of the poetry itself. So which is ed ella da singhiozzi e pianto oppressa fievolmente formò queste parole. Beautiful. Listen again how when I speak as well, I use those long consonants, especially the stop consonant, to make this effective and musical as well. We start with a double T. Ed ella. As we did before, if you remember on the previous part, the same situation, ed ella. So double D and double L. Ed ella da singhiozzi e pianto oppressa. So here we have a double D in da, then a double G in ghiozzi. So this is a sobbing effect here. Singhiozzo is sobbing, and the staccato actually here makes so clear that effect. So what do we do? The G in singhiozzo is a G. Before the G there is an N, which is co-articulated. The N is at the back, like an English sing, sing. So the N is at the back, very short N, because you need to stop the G. It's a bit not immediate. For an English speaker, it's not something you can do immediately, naturally, but you need to practice a bit. Singhiozzi. You see, I put the N, but straight I place my G. Singhiozzo. That's why in Italian we say singer, singer. Always get that NG with the long consonant there, because it's the way we look at the spelling and we think to apply obviously a idiomatic sound from Italian. But in this case we are singing Italian, so that is where we found that authenticity. Let's try together. So singhiozzo, singhiozzo, and then another double consonant, double Z, which is a TS, is a voice. Singhiozzi. Remember that is a stop again. So singhiozzi, T, I place the Z. It doesn't sound immediately, it sounds at the end fast. T, t, but the important is the stop before. So, da sinchiotie. And the stop carries on now with a double P in pian, in pianti. So that pianto, so which is double P, and then double P again in oppressa. So double P in oppressive crying. You know how the double P create the alliteration of that suffering, of this crying. And pianto pressa, again double S, coming back from the beginning of the piece when disse, all those words that a double S seems to keep saying what's happening, what is being said. It's like a really narrator that keeps saying, listen carefully, how sad is this story. So altogether this consonant create rhythm, counterpoint, projection. Remember also long consonant help you to connect your body. It's not just the correct Italian, expressive Italian. It's really the way Italian help you to be connected with your breath support, with your projection of vowels. So listen again how this line is full of those beautiful consonants. Please practice carefully by humming or singing the actual notes to put down in your score where they are, to be sure that you prepare them in advance. So together is Etellata sinchiotie pianto pressa. Quite interesting. We'll see how exciting and how you need to really articulate and get active when you sing Italian, in particular set in such a beautiful music. And we finish with fievolmente formò queste parole. Here we have a alliteration of the F in the faintly forming these words. So fievolmente is faintly, forming, formò, and then parole. Parole need, you see again, all aligned together. Monteverdi for all the voices is like this, words. So these words need to be clear, and the double P for you is fundamental here. So again, double F in fievolmente, double F in formò, and then a double P in parole to make this line in this way. Fievolmente formò queste parole, queste step, like singing step in English. But that's how it is, and it works well. Trust me. So step parole, and then beautiful the words. The word words will come out clearly and expressive. And you see parole is on an upbeat, so it will be again very Italian. Double P in pa, don't roll the R in ro, just a flick. Parole. And that's really idiomatic and very, as you see, a very common pattern, not just in Monteverdi, but any other opera or any other piece, chorus you sing from any centuries, you will see this coming up. And the repetition of these final words carries on, as you see on the next systems, and are basically the same structure. So we keep double F in fievolmente, in formò, and parole. And please keep the same, even the repetition, so it's even more expressive to keep the text alive towards the end. So we have della da singhiotti e pianti oppressa. In this case, again, what we did before, copy and paste the same long and short consonant, and fievolmente formò queste parole, to finish off then with the fagiolini that end up the all beautiful piece. Sonnet, beautiful madrigal, and so emotional music that, as you see, is really linked to the sound of the words. So by doing correct sound in phonetics, in mellophonetics, we create emotion through then what is the semantic, the meaning of the words. So to give that emotion through, we need to get the text right, and then it will beautifully link with the music. And that's where Monteverdi is a genius, and that is what the listener is feeling. Is that goosebumps, that it comes from the meaning, yes, but it comes because the words has an incredible musicality. And in the incredible musicality, it's what then magically comes to us as a listener, and then make us to want to listen again, because it's fantastic. Thank you. I look forward to see you all for the live session, and good work with this Rimanti in pace.